I've got 3 reasons that you're not going viral on TikTok right now. The first one is that you're posting content that's the wrong length. You're posting about the wrong topics to begin with. Every video that you're posting is the wrong format. And I guarantee that about 98% of you that are watching this video are doing this one other thing that's completely wrong and is ruining your ability to go viral. I'm gonna get into that later in the video. So if you're ready to break out of that 200 view jail and start going viral consistently, then all you need to do is watch this video and implement the strategies that I'm about to teach you. First, you need to make sure that you're using the correct video length when you're creating content on TikTok. Now, I'm going to break down best practices for how long your videos should be, but at the end of the day, it's highly dependent on the niche that you're in. And you're going to hear me say this over and over in this video, but research is so important. You need to be studying the other creators in your niche to see how long the videos are that they're posting, especially the ones that are performing really well, because you need to identify the typical viewing tendencies in your industry so you know what kind of content your ideal viewer wants to see. For example, it may be perfectly normal for a fitness coach to be creating 7-second and 30-second content, whereas personal finance creators might be creating 55-second and 3-minute content for their viewers. Because with fitness, maybe the person is just looking for a little tip to solve a problem they have or a little burst of motivation so they can keep going and losing weight. But the viewers for the personal finance creator, they might be more willing to sit down and watch a lengthier video because they're trying to figure out the best strategies to save for their retirement. Now, you might be wondering like, Mike, how long should my content be? And you need to actually go out and do the research to see what's working in your niche and what those patterns are. But I'm going to give you 3 proven lengths that you can start with. Number 1 is the 5 to 8 second video, which typically comes with the trending sound and text on the screen to convey your message. Second is the 25 to 30 second videos. And third are the videos that are 60 seconds and up. Now, if you want to get paid, you're probably going to want to do those 60 second or longer videos because TikTok is going to pay way more for those through their creator fund. But that doesn't mean that you should only be using 60 second or longer content if you want to make money on TikTok, especially if you're selling your own digital products or services. And you're actually going to want to focus on shorter content if you want to grow your account and have a higher chance of going viral, which I'll explain a little bit more in tip 3. But first, we have to talk about choosing the topics for your content. Now, as a creator, there's so many topics that we can talk about inside of our content, especially if you're a coach or an educational creator like I am, but not all topics are created equal. So what I want you to do is go and do a search on TikTok to see what videos, what topics are getting the most views in your niche. I want you to actually study the other creators in your niche and look at what videos are outliers for them, which ones have way more views than they typically get on a given video. Take note of those outlier videos, save them into a catalog on your TikTok or make notes about them so that you can draw from those to get inspiration for your own content later. I want you to create your version of those topics, and I only want you to focus on those topics, especially the ones that come up repeatedly. Don't try to get cute. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. If a topic has worked for another creator, then it's probably going to work for you too. It's definitely going to have a higher chance of working for you because that topic is likely answering a question or providing a solution to a problem that your ideal viewer is interested in learning more about. Now, these videos that are major outliers or that just keep coming up over and over and over amongst a bunch of different creators, I want you to create multiple pieces of content on that topic. Just because a video doesn't work for you the first time doesn't mean that it won't actually go viral the second, third, or fourth time that you create a version or a piece of content on that topic. And you don't have to worry about your followers getting bored with you posting the same kind of content over and over and over again, because the reality is they're probably not going to see it. Most of your followers aren't going to see every single piece of content that you post because 99% of your views are actually coming from strangers on the For You page. And even if your most loyal followers see a video on a topic that they already saw another video on, it's okay. They're probably going to be excited to learn more about that topic that made them follow you in the first place, so don't worry about it. Now, once you've identified your proven topics, I want you to start looking at the format of the content that you're creating. It's important that you choose the right format or style of content for your niche, but also for growth. For example, I'm in the coaching and educational content game, and when I look around at all the other creators, especially when I was starting out, all of them were creating the talking head, educational tip type content. So that's what I did. And then I got stuck with low views. And from my perspective, the content was good. It was high quality. It was valuable. It was going to help my viewers actually get the result they wanted to get. But it still wasn't getting views because I was using the wrong format. Now, I could have done what most creators do and get frustrated with the algorithm because I was creating quality content, but I was still getting stuck at 200 views. But instead of looking at whether my content was good subjectively, I decided to put my agency hat on and let the data give me like an objective standard for determining whether it was good content or not. And this is pretty easy to do on TikTok because all the algorithm cares about is whether the video gets a lot of watch time and keeps people on the app. So if my video got a bunch of views, it was good. And if it didn't, then it wasn't a good video. It's pretty black and white. And since I didn't have a ton of views on my videos, I had to go back and look at other creators and see what was working for them because I didn't have good videos. And when I started doing my research with this new perspective, something became very clear almost immediately. When I looked at the small creators in my niche, the videos with the most views all had the same specific format. The big creators could do whatever they wanted because they're big creators with a big following, and if they posted a talking head video, it performed well no matter what because they were already established. But when those same small creators created 7-second video with a trending sound and valuable text on the screen, they were almost always getting massive views on those videos. Now I looked at this and I'm like, why are these creators not making more of that content? Because it's clearly working and they would grow so much faster. So that's what I did. I completely changed my TikTok strategy and I focused on those shorter formats. And as soon as I did, my TikTok growth exploded. I went from 0 to 10,000 followers in less than 60 days. Now, as all this was going on, I remember this one specific creator. She was in the exact same niche as me. She had about 16,000 followers and she was just posting educational content and had been doing so for about a year and a half to get those 16,000 followers. And after a couple of weeks, when I hit 17,000 followers, I remember seeing one of her videos and going back to her profile, and she was still at 16,000. I was able to get as much growth in about 2 months as she got in over a year and a half. And this is why video length, topic, and format are so important if you want to go viral consistently and grow your following quickly. But none of that is going to work, and it's all going to be useless if you don't do these next 3 things that I'm going to teach you in order to please the algorithm. Big thing number 1, watch time is king. You have to understand this. If your videos are stuck in the 200 view jail, it's because you're not getting a high enough watch time on any of those videos to continue getting pushed to the For You page. The TikTok algorithm does not have feelings. It is a robot. It is code. It is not picking on you in your content. All it cares about is whether your videos get a lot of watch time and keep people on the app. If you can do that, you're gonna get rewarded. But first, let me explain how the algorithm works in the first place. The reason that this 200 view jail even exists is because every single video that's posted on TikTok automatically gets shown to about 200 people. TikTok's using these sample viewers to figure out how well the video is gonna perform so they know whether to give it more views or not. So it's like a test, and if you pass the test and you get good watch time, then they're gonna show it to as many people as possible because it's good for the app. But if the video doesn't get very much watch time, then they're just not gonna show it to anybody else because they already know that people aren't gonna watch the video and they don't want to waste the space inside of their For You feed. So 200 views is like the first checkpoint in a much larger checkpoint system that's kind of gatekeeping which videos get massive views and which ones don't. There's no like devious person in the background that's pressing the red button to determine which videos go viral or anything like that. It's literally just code. And TikTok continues to check your video's performance at different levels. First at 200, then at 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, all the way up to 1 million views. And as long as it keeps performing well, they're gonna keep pushing it. And that's how you see these videos go like massive viral. But as soon as the performance of the video drops off, they stop showing it to people. So here's how you can make sure that your videos perform well and get past that first 200 view checkpoint and hopefully go way bigger. Your first priority is stopping the scroll. Most of you are losing the battle before it even begins because people are just scrolling right past your video on the For You feed. They're not looking at it at all. And so if you can just make this one change, if you can just get better at getting people to stop scrolling and look at your video, your views are going to explode. Because right away, if you have a higher percentage of those 200 people that are actually stopping and looking at your video, then your watch time is going to go through the roof and it's going to signal to TikTok that they need to show it to more people. So you have to do something to stop the scroll, and then you have to grab their attention in the first 3 seconds of that video before they abandon it. And I'm going to beat this dead horse this entire video, but the best way to figure out what stops the scroll and hooks viewers is to study your competitors. You have to do the research. When you don't have viral videos, you have to look at other people's viral videos. You have to look at those outliers and you have to study what is making them successful. You have to look for patterns. What is the topic? What is the hook? What kind of text are they using? What is the length of the video? Are they using specific sounds? You have to look at all of those factors and try to identify the patterns. Because success on social media is all about pattern recognition, and that's especially true on TikTok. And just as a sidebar, like if you want to be a good creator, you need to check out this book, Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon. This book will teach you more about being a successful creator than any TikTok or YouTube guru ever will. And I'm talking about this book because it's about recognizing patterns as a creator and using them to be more successful and to develop your own style. And look at this. Look at this. It's like a child's book. You can read this in like a single day. Just do it. Now, the pattern recognition is important, but it also needs to be recent and relevant. Probably the most obvious example of how important pattern recognition is on TikTok is trends. And if you've been on TikTok long enough, you know that if you jump on a trend at the right time, it can give you that extra little push to cause you to go viral and bring in so many leads and followers for your business. But the thing about trends is that you have to catch them while they're still a trend. They have to be recent and they have to be trending in your niche. Relevant. And one of the things that I'm noticing lately is that a lot of y'all are leaving comments on my videos saying something to the effect of like, Mike, I'm using all of these strategies, but they're not working. I'm still stuck at 200 views. What is wrong? And what's wrong is that you're not doing the research to find that recent, relevant content that's going to help you go viral. You aren't studying what's working right now in your particular niche. And I know you aren't doing the research because when one of y'all says this to me in the comments, I go look up your profile and I look at your content and what you're doing. And most of you are just creating like whatever the heck you want instead of creating the stuff that your audience actually wants to see. You have to do the research. You have to create content based on what is important in your space right now. Study your competitors, look at the videos that are outliers getting way more views than they normally get. Make your version of those videos. And then when you start having videos pop off and go viral on your own, study those. See why. Repeat those topics, repeat those formats, use those video lengths. This research is the most important thing you can do if you want to go viral and grow on TikTok. And if you start doing this enough, you're going to start recognizing the patterns. And once you recognize the patterns, you are going to be able to create your own unique viral hits. It goes back to this book. You steal like an artist. You do like the great painter who studied all the great painters that came before and mimicked the way that they created their art. And then once they understood it and they mastered those techniques, they were able to say, you know, I would like it better if I did this. And they were able to start slowly tweaking it to develop their own unique style. But you have to become a student of the game if you want to win it. And you have to understand that what worked 6 months ago may not be working now because TikTok is constantly adding new features and trying to improve the product. So when you're doing your research, focus on the last 3 to 5 days, the last week. Pay attention to what's working right now so that way you can ride that wave. Now, before you go, I want to let you in on a little secret. I want to let you know what you should do when you finally have that first viral video so that way you can pour fuel on the flames and make it go even bigger. When you've taken everything you've learned in this video and you get that first viral hit of your own, I want you to pay attention to the comments and I want you to start looking for comments that ask good questions or that you think you could respond to with a good video. Because one of the cool features on TikTok is that you can actually do video responses to comments and they will be actual TikTok videos that are linked to the video the comment is from. Most people know that, but what they don't know is that when you create that response video, it's going to be shown to everybody that watched the original video. So if you can get 4, 5, 6 really good comments that you could take and create a great piece of educational content around, you're going to be able to leverage that to get all of those people back onto your account. It's like retargeting ads, but it's free. And not only is getting those eyeballs on that video going to give it the chance to go viral itself, but it's going to make it more likely that those people are going to follow you because they're seeing more content from you. And on top of that, they're probably going to click that comment and go back to the original one to see it in context, which is going to be more views on the original viral video, making it go bigger. But the even cooler part is that you can actually use these videos to sell really hard. Because a lot of times when that video goes off, people are going to ask you, how did you do that? Or how does it work? Or tell me more, something like that. And this is your opportunity to break it all down and to actually do the hard sell, which you normally wouldn't do in the growth focused content. But when you're just getting started and you're trying to figure out what makes a video go viral and how to start getting the views, I don't want you to worry about selling. The selling will come. Just focus on growth. Focus on creating better content in that objective sense, as in it's going to get views because it's pleasing the algorithm. And to help you do that, I want you to watch this video next because it's going to help you learn how to get more followers on TikTok.